All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna highlight my video. Okay, hi everybody. I'm so excited about this. So welcome, and I'm so proud of you. If you are on this, you probably just promoted to Ruby or Emerald. And what a crazy month. Like last month was absolutely nuts. And I am so excited for this month because it's gonna be even more nuts. And what I love is that you Rubies are going straight to diamond and you Emeralds are shooting for double diamond, okay? Because that's the mentality that I want you to have, because in this business, belief is everything, and like having that abundance mindset that says, I'm going to go for this promotion and I know that it's really far away, but that's what I'm going to push for. It has people that are pushing for double ending up at diamond when last month they were just a ruby, right? And so here's the thing is like, when you're pushing for these massive big promotions, what's the worst that could happen if you don't hit it? You just don't hit it and you're way freaking closer than you were before, right? And I feel like I am a testament to that last month, because so many of you hit your goals, and I know that that's not the biggest goal that you have. Like maybe you hit the goal of Ruby, but you're like, I'm not done. Like that wasn't really my goal. My goal was diamond, but I hit Ruby. But I want you to celebrate that, but I want you to just not get complacent and remember that, if I was shooting for ambassador last month and I didn't hit it, which I didn't, and I'm still breathing, like know that it's okay to go for your goals and it's okay to miss them, but don't do it because you didn't shoot for it. Don't miss that goal because you never even tried. Don't miss that goal because you didn't give it everything you had. Miss it because you just came up short. And so at the end of the month and at the beginning of this month, I told y'all, like, we missed ambassador, but I'm not mad. I have nothing to be mad about. I have nothing to be sad or frustrated about. Was I a little disappointed? Part of me. But at the end, I knew that we literally gave it everything we had. And if you can leave it all on the table like that, then you truly can be successful. You truly can hit those goals that you're shooting for, even though it seems like it's so far away. And at the end of the day, what's the worst that could happen, right? So that's the kind of mentality that I want you to go into this month with. So if you're a Ruby and you have an Emerald chart out right now, I want you to push that to the side and get a diamond chart out. And if you're an Emerald and you've got a diamond chart out, I want you to push it to the side and get a double diamond chart out. Because why not? Because why not? Why the heck not? And yeah, you're afraid. Okay, good. Fear isn't bad. Fear is neutral. And you get to choose if you're going to let it motivate you or shrink you. So you can choose to let fear inspire you to, you know what, I'm scared, so I'm going to push myself to do this because I know that I don't want to go back to where I just was. Or it can shrink you and make you decide, you know what, I'm scared, so I'm just going to shrink back in my hole and I'm just not even going to go for it. One serves you and one doesn't. So pick the one that serves you. Pick the one that makes you excited to wake up in the morning to push for that goal. And remind yourself that if you don't hit it, it's not the end of the world. Your identity is not based in your rank. Your identity is based in who you are in Christ, and your rank comes after that. Your rank follows what's up here. So if you want to grow your paycheck, if you want to grow your rank, ask yourself if you're growing your mindset. Because if you're not going to get to the next level. And I was talking to some other people today, and we were talking about different issues that they were going through, and I was like, if you can't get past that issue, you're not going to be ready for the next level. And I'm not saying that I don't want you to hit the next level or that you can, or that that's not going to happen in 3.5 weeks, but I'm just saying you've got to grow yourself past that, because at every level is a new devil. And so if you can't take care of the devil that you're at Ruby, what do you think you're going to be when you hit diamond? So you make sure that you're growing yourself. Self-development is absolutely crucial. So my awesome Rubies and Emeralds that are all doing self-development, tell me what self-development that you're using in the chat right now, because maybe some of us need a new book to read. So right now I'm actually reading the book called Grace Over Grind, and it's really good. It's like an 1.5 hours long. All right. Oh, hi, Michael. I know it's Sarah, but so I listened to Grace Over Grind. It's like an 1.5 hours on Audible, and it's actually really, really good. So if you're listening to podcasts, I challenge you to take it a step further. Okay? This is me challenging you to take it to another level. Because now that you're listening to podcasts, and I listen to podcasts every now and then too, and I kind of jump around, but I would challenge you to find a book. And the reason why is because I feel like in a podcast, it's a 1 hour, maybe 30-minute episode that talks about a topic. And then you move on from there to another topic. And every day is something different that you need to be working on. Every single one is something different that you need to be focused on. And so then your brain is like, okay, so I need to make sure I'm doing this. And then the next day you're like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. And then you end up with just knowing what you need to do, but not ever actually doing it. And what I love about a book is that it's the same principle for 6 hours on a book that you're listening to on Audible. And it's the same anthem the whole way throughout, right? And so listening to that is going to help you to understand, like, okay, grace over grind, that has an actual purpose behind it. The book that I listened to called The Illusion of Money, that was all centered around the same idea. And so I've been able to tackle those like weeks at a time. And another thing too that I want to remind you of is spiritual development and self-development are two totally different things. So when I'm reading a book about the Lord, or I'm reading a book that's about like a devotion book, or even some of the books, you know, in the chat that were mentioned, that is spiritual development. So I really want to help you make sure that you understand the difference in spiritual development and self-development. Both are extremely important. But spiritual development is going to be a book that's like written by a Christian author about your walk with the Lord. Another book that's self-development and like leadership development is going to be a book, and it could be written by a Christian or not, it doesn't matter, but that is going to be something that's more geared towards leadership and a business owner and business mindset and the way that you need to think about money or whatever it is. And so make sure that you're differentiating the two and that you're not confusing them and doing just spiritual development when you're not growing yourself as a leader. Because in this capacity, when you become a diamond, you are considered a diamond leader within the company. And I firmly believe that titles do not come, I don't care if you're a double diamond, you could be less of a leader as a double diamond than somebody who's a ruby. Titles don't matter. Titles do not define leadership. It's the way that you treat people, and it's the way that you show up for yourself and your business and your family every single day. That is true leadership. And so whenever you're looking at people who are a diamond, doesn't necessarily make them a leader, but I'll tell you this, every single one of you hopping on this right now, you went ruby, you went emerald, you're hopping on this, you're ready to go diamond and double diamond. You're a leader. You're a leader on this team, you're a leader in this company, and you're about to become a leader that's like well known throughout the company because you are a diamond leader. You're going to have that title. But with that title comes great responsibility. It's like the verse that says, to whom much is given, much is required. And so if you're walking around with this diamond title and people are asking you leadership questions and you have no clue what to say to that, it's because you haven't grown yourself. And I don't want you to become the person who gets to diamond and then learns the principles of it. I want you to learn the principles and then hit the rank. I want the mindset to precede the rank that you hit in your E-suite. I want you to get to diamond here before you show it in your E-suite. And that's going to do that through self-development. So I really love the book for just like leadership stuff. If you're listening to podcasts, I will say I love the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast. It is so freaking good. Somebody put it in here. Jacob talked about it earlier. Freaking love Craig Groeschel. He is so good. In his first 8 episodes of his leadership podcast changed my business last year. So go like scroll all the way down, literally episode 1 back in like 2015 or 2016, episode 1 through 8. Listen to all of them. I challenge you to do that by the end of the weekend. That is something that is going to drastically transform the way that you think about leadership, the way that you think about your team, and the way that you see yourself in this business. Okay, so I want you to go do that. But another book that I really love on leadership is Built to Last, or I guess it's Build to Last, which I didn't realize that. Hang on. I am looking up some of the books that I did on leadership too, because I don't want to miss any good ones. Amber, the podcast, it's called The Leadership Podcast. Yep. Let's see. A really good one too is The Vision Driven Leader. I'll put it in the chat. The Vision Driven Leader by Michael Hyatt. That one is really, really good. Anything by John Maxwell is going to be really good leadership stuff. Dare to Lead by Brene Brown is a really good one that I've read. Sorry, I'm putting my face up close to type. I don't know why I look like a 12-year-old boy with like this breakout on my face, but I am fully aware that it's there. Just don't look at it. Let's see. Those are and H3 Leadership. This was actually really good. It's called H3 Leadership by Brad Lomenick. There we go. That one is really, really good too. So those are some. If y'all have any other ones that you want me to send you, I can totally help you with that. Some other good ones for leadership is like Success God's Way. High Performance Habits is just a really good one to know. It's by Brendan Bouchard. That one's a really good, popular one that most leaders have read. So yeah, make sure that you're getting into leadership, okay? Leadership development, developing yourself as a human and as a leader. And that's something that I did not do. Keith Callahan. That is something that I did not do until I was literally after I went presidential. And it was very, very hard to go presidential. And it was very, very hard to move from the mindset that I was at after I went presidential to where I'm at right now. Not saying that I'm perfect right now by any means, but I am saying I've grown a lot. And I wish that I had started the movement within myself that I've begun last year. I wish I had started that when I was a Ruby or whenever I was an Emerald. So a lot of what I'm telling you is things I did that I wish I wouldn't have done, or things I didn't do that I wish I had. And I'm basically trying to keep you from making the same mistakes that I did, because my goal as a leader is to help you get where I am, but to get there faster than I got there. And so I really want to help you do those things. So I just want to, really challenge you and encourage you to start doing that. So none of that was in my notes. So there's that. So some of it was, but okay. So I want all of y'all, I'm going to change this to grid view because I'm going to see you if you don't do what I'm telling you. I'm just kidding. But really, I will see you. And I want you to do this. So if you are I like this so much better. I was trying to make it cute for YouTube so it didn't look like a bunch of grids on like the preview, but I don't even care. I don't like just seeing my face. I like seeing all of y'all. So I'm going to keep it like this. But thanks, Sarah, Michael, whoever you are. No, I'm just kidding. But okay, so let's get serious for 2 seconds. Okay, so I want y'all to do something called visualization, and I'm gonna walk you through this, and it's gonna feel super kooky if you've never done it before. But if you have, you know how powerful it is. Okay, so we're gonna make it quick because I only want this Zoom to be like 30 minutes long, so 15 more minutes. Okay, so I want y'all to close your eyes. And I will see you if you don't close your eyes, so close your eyes. Okay, so close your eyes. And I want, unless you're driving, please, for the love, do not close your eyes. So I want you, if you just went Ruby, I want Diamond to be what you're looking at in this visualization. If you just went Emerald, I want you to see double diamond. Okay? So think about that word that I just spoke over you, diamond or double. And you can think of double if you want to, but I really want you to focus on your very next promotion, diamond and double diamond. So I want you to keep your eyes closed. So now it is June 30th, and you are closing out the month. It's hot outside, it's warm. Some of your friends are at the lake waiting for you to get there, or whatever it is. It's the end of the month, and you have worked so hard to get here. You've sacrificed a little bit of sleep. You've said no to some things. You've said yes to other things that you normally don't say yes to. And you feel so proud of how far you've come. And keep your eyes closed. I want you to picture yourself logging into your eSuite, typing in your username, typing in your password. And now I want you to go up to reports, and I want you to look at your tree viewer. And over on the right-hand side, it says previously paid rank. And I want you to see what rank you just hit last month. What rank does that say? Now I want you to look right next to it, and it says current month paid as. What does it say? Visualize those letters right there. How do you feel? Are you excited? Are you crying? Are you like me and screaming and jumping up and down? Who's the first person that you run and tell? Who is the one that you call on the phone and talk to? Who is the person that you get excited about and want to go out and celebrate with? Now I want you to think about what you're wearing. What does your hair look like? Feel how you really will feel when that moment happens, when you see that current paid rank diamond, current paid rank double. And right now you're going to start thinking, how is this going to happen? Do not think about how it's going to happen. I just want you to see it happening. Now, with your eyes closed, I want us to fast forward to the 8th of July. You just finished all your July 4th stuff. You just had fireworks. Everything's kind of winding down. And you just got word that our commissions posted for June. The chat's blowing up. Everybody's yelling, commissions are posted, commissions are posted. And you know that you just promoted. I want you to log into your eSuite, type in your ID number, type in your password, go up to commissions, and then now it's loading, and boom, there's your paycheck. What is that bold number right there that you see? That is the number, the amount of money that you just made for the month of June. What is that exact number down to the penny? How do you feel now? Was that sleep that you lost this month worth it? Was saying no to going to the movies with your friends that one time worth it? Was choosing this over movie night worth it? Was deciding that this was worth it for your family, so you were going to give up some of those things. You were going to say yes to the things that you've never said yes to before. Was that TikTok that you made for the first time that was so out of your comfort zone, was that worth it? Was that extra self-development instead of watching Netflix worth it? I want you to feel how you're going to feel when you see that number in bold. Who are you going to go tell? What are you going to do with that money? And don't say buy a Louis Vuitton bag. What are you going to do with that money? Okay, now I want you to open your eyes. I want you to do that every day. Because the more that you do it, the more clear that it becomes. And the more clear that it becomes, the more real it's going to, the more likely that it's going to be to actually come to pass. So I want you to think about that every single day. And that number that you just saw on your eSuite, I want you to write it down. So go write that number down. And I want you to think about that number. I want you to put that number, and this, y'all are gonna laugh, put that number on a sticky note or on a piece of paper, tape it, I don't care, above your toilet paper roll in the bathroom that you use the most. If you have two that you use a lot, like we have our half bath in here and we have our master, put it above your toilet paper roll. Why? Because you look at your toilet paper roll every day, right? And so I was challenged to do that sometime, I think last year or late 2018. And somebody told me to do that. And I was like, okay, weirdo. And so I did it anyways. And I am not kidding you. I put some wackadoodle numbers up on that toilet paper roll, like right above the toilet paper roll. Every single one of them have happened. And I kept having to change the number because it kept going up. I was like, shoot, we gonna have to put more. So I kept having to like add stuff. So I want you to do that. And I want you to see it every day. And I want you to claim that over yourself. And not in 6 months, this month. Because why not you? There are people who have stories of going from $6,000 to $16,000 a month. From $600 a month to $4,000 a month in 1 month. Why not you? Be the person who does that. And if you're like, nobody's ever done the jump that I just did in my head, cool, be the first one. You write that story. You be the one that makes that the exception. That's an affirmation that I write down every single morning is I am the exception. So let's talk about like you being able to do this. Like it's literally just a decision. There's nothing that you have to do that's special. You know what to do. You just went Ruby. You just went Emerald. You know what to do. You sign customers and you sign distributors. Keep it simple. You get paid to do those two things. You know how to do both of those things too. And if you don't, send screenshots. If somebody was offering to help me with some screenshots, I'd be sending the crap out of them. So feel free to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have some leaders on our team right now who are sending me screenshots because they're like, I don't know why I'm not enrolling like I want to. So I'm helping them with their screenshots. And I love that. So if you feel like that's something that you don't do well, let me help you. I'm happy to help you, or one of your other leaders. But otherwise, you know how to enroll customers. You know how to enroll distributors. So just go do those things. But it's a decision that you're going to promote to Diamond. Because when you decide that you're going to promote and there is no other option, then you start to work a little bit harder. You start to work a little bit differently. You start to post a little bit differently. You start to walk a little bit differently because you're like, okay, it's about to happen. Like, you walk with that little extra confidence. So make sure that you decide right now. And I've seen some of you do that. I've seen y'all in our chat saying, oh, I'm going Diamond. Nope, I'm going Diamond. Like, y'all are claiming it just so loud. But I want you to know that there's going to be a point in time this month where you're going to say, meh, I can do it next month. But didn't you say that last month? Didn't you say that the month before? Aren't you tired of saying that? I know I'm tired of saying next month. Shoot. I've been saying next month for ambassador since October 2018. Like, I'm sick of saying next month. And that's part of what's driving me so hard to just get it done. Because I'm sick of saying next month. I'm sick of going halfway through the month and being like, meh. Don't do that for yourself. Decide right now and cut off all other options. That's what the root word of decide means. It means to cut off. Cut off any other option besides that happening, but cut off any other option besides exactly what you just envisioned actually coming to pass. There is no other option. It's like burning the boats. Y'all have heard me talk about that multiple times. If you haven't heard this reference, I'm going to say it again. They go to this island and they take their boats because it's an island. And so they're taking their boats to an island and they're going to take over the island. And the leader of this group said, okay, before we go try to take this island over, we're going to go burn our boats. Literally, we're going to set them on fire so that we cannot take them back when things get hard. So we're going to go take over this island knowing there is no way that we come home. We either win or we perish. And they won. And that's the story. That's it. They decided they were going to burn the boats. They decided they were going to cut off the other option to leave. If things got hard, they couldn't jump in a boat and just take off. So when you have that mentality and that attitude within you to actually get this thing done and there's no other options but to do it, it's going to get done. It is going to happen. And complacency, don't get comfortable here. I went Ruby, and some of y'all know my story and some of you don't, but I went Ruby 4 months into my business. And some of you were like, 4 months? Wow, you suck. And some of you were like, only 4 months? Like, everybody's story is so different. So some of you have been in for way longer and some of you have been in for way shorter. And you're like, yeah, I did that in like 3 days. I'm like, okay. So everybody's story is different. And it took me 4 months. And that was part of my story. But when I went Ruby, I didn't have the leadership. I wasn't developing myself. I wasn't doing any of the things I'm telling you to do now. And I'm all but begging you to do this because I know how long it's taken me to get here. And I don't want it to take you that long because truly if I had known the things then that I know now, it wouldn't have. So I'm trying to help you so that you can get where I am faster. But I went Ruby and I just kind of sat there. I sat there for a year, literally 12 months. I went Ruby in February of 2015 and I didn't go Diamond until February 2016. And so I sat there for a long time because I wasn't growing and I was just comfortable making $600 a month because I joined for $100 a month. So making $600 was like even more than what I ever thought that I would make. So why not be thankful for that? But there's a difference in being thankful and for wanting for more. And there's a quote that Michael Todd said, and he said, greed is wanting more than what God has for you. But wanting more is wanting exactly what God has for you. And I can repeat that if you want me to, but that made me feel so good because I always had this like tug of like, we want more. Like, I want to go for more. And I'm like, but is that selfish? But he said, greed is wanting more than what God has for you. But wanting more is wanting all that God has for you. And there's a difference. So go after and get all that God has for you. He has big plans for you. And you living paycheck to paycheck is not one of them. Because he wants to bless you abundantly so that you can go and bless others abundantly. And you can't pour from an empty cup any more than you can give from an empty pocket in an empty wallet. You're sitting over here thinking that you're not going to be, that you shouldn't be wanting more, and that you should just be content with Ruby because Diamond would be way more than what you need to pay your bills. And there's starving children in Africa. Yeah, but who gets to pay and help the kids that are starving in Africa have food? The ones who can pay their bills and then have some left over. But you've gotten so into this mindset that society is just like giving you that you should just be, you just need to have just enough. It's enough to have just enough. You can be happy with just enough. But when it's just enough, it's just about you. But when you have abundance, it becomes about everybody else. It becomes about who can I bless? And you become so blessed and so abundant that you look for people to bless. You're like, God, show me somebody today that I can go bless. And it doesn't have to be financially. But guess what? I have the freedom of time to go bless whoever the heck I want to, whenever the heck that I want to. Because of this business and because I made that choice. So I want y'all to want more. Don't get complacent. Why? That's not fair to the people on your team. I can tell you that right now. It's not fair for you to be fine with Ruby because they want to go Ruby. So you can't sit here and be like, well, I'm fine with Ruby. Well, they want to go Ruby, so that means you're going to go Emerald, so you better get to work. And if you're fine with Emerald, then what does that do for the people on your team? Because they joined you for a reason. And maybe they want to replace their full-time income. Well, that means you have to get them to Diamond. So sister, you better get out a double diamond chart. Brother, you better get out a double diamond chart. If you're not looking at the goals of your team, you're risking being complacent because you're not focused on the goals that they have. Like right now, like that's what I love about this is just the bigger that your team gets, the less it becomes about you. And it's all about them getting to their goals. And that's why I get so passionate about this stuff, because I'm like, I just want this so badly for you. And I want it for myself too. So that means that if you quit, I'm still going after this. But I want it so badly for you. And I want for you to want this too. So don't get complacent. Remember that you've got a team that's counting on you. They're counting on you to show up every day. They're counting on you to lead them. They're counting on you to want for more, because when you show them that you can go diamond, it gives them permission to do the same. When I saw Cammie do certain things when we were hanging out, she would just do random things and just say things that were just so abundant. And I was like, wow, that gives me permission to do that. Like we walked, okay, this is like super random and off topic, but hopefully this helps. We walked by like a pink poster, like the singer. And we were walking past that, and they were like, I was with her and a couple of other people. Hopefully y'all know who Cammie is. If you don't, does everybody know who Cammie is? Okay. If you don't, this is going to be a very confusing story for you. So we were walking by this pink poster, and she and another girl that was an ambassador, and I was like a double diamond or maybe triple diamond at the time, and they were talking, and they're like, we should go to the Pink concert. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to call my I can call my so-and-so person and see if they'll get us some box tickets. And I was like, what? Like me and my nosebleed seats over here. And that gave me permission to like want those things, you know? And like her son called and he was like, hey mom, can we fly so-and-so out to Florida to come hang out with me for my birthday? And he didn't think anything of it. And she's like, yeah. That gives me permission to be able to do that. And seeing Mark go get an island, that gives me permission to do that. Be the Cammie for your team. Be the Mark for your team that paves that way, that says, yes, you can pay off debt. Yes, you can. Why not you? Yes, you can want more. And no, it's not unrealistic. And yet, and no, it's not too big. So don't get complacent. Be that person that pushes your team. So the last thing I'll talk about is like the logistics of this. Guys, I want you to remember that fire burns from the bottom. What does that mean? It means that on your chart, when you're looking at a diamond chart, you've got an emerald and you've got a ruby, right? Okay. All of you should know what a diamond chart looks like, because if you don't, we're going to get one out tonight, right? Okay. So you have an emerald and a ruby. Okay. So you have these two people who you have been leading. They're probably the people that you talk to the most every day. They're probably the ones that you reach out to. They're probably the ones that you're just like in very close contact with. But my challenge to you is to work closely with them, and they're like your people, but spend your time training the people underneath them. So whenever I look at, I'm just going to use Amber for an example because she's right next to me on my screen. So I'm looking at Amber's team. I know that Amber needs me as a leader, but I know that her team needs me more. Because Amber knows that she can come to me whenever she needs me, and then I'm going to check in with her because she's on my list, and all of you are, right? So I'm going to check in with you. But I know that Amber's team needs me more, so my time is better spent with people like Chelsea and Courtney, who are her two rubies and emeralds, or, you know, the emerald and the ruby. And so my time is better spent with them, because if I can get a fire burning under them, that's going to light Amber on fire. And if I can get Amber on fire, that's going to light Kelsey on fire. And if I can light Kelsey on fire, Kelsey's going to go double, but it's going to be because these two people that I worked closely with brought in that extra volume. They went ruby when they were just supposed to be a 400 box, because I got a ruby chart out for them, because they said they wanted to make $500 a month, and I didn't say, no, sorry, you're only in a 400 box spot. Thank you, though. We don't say that, but we do that. We act that way, even though we don't say it with our words. So I want you to look at the people on your team tonight, make a list of them, and say, what are your goals? Do you want to go ruby? Do you want to go emerald? And maybe it's not even a rank for them at this point. They can't fathom that. So you can say, well, what income would make you feel better every month? What income are you wanting to make every single month so that you can make your life a little bit easier? So you can relieve some of the stress from your family. And they say $200. You're like, okay, let's get out a ruby chart. Okay, because we don't do executive. We just go to ruby. Let's get out a ruby chart. We're going to get 3 distributors. I want you to go post this on your story, and I want you to go post this on your wall really quick and make a cute picture with it. Tell me when you're done. And be so specific. You are not too good to do anything for your team. You are not too good or too big to do anything to dig deep and get your hands dirty and dig your heels in deep for your team. Oh, I am not above sending my team making a daggum over story for them and saying, you better post this slide on your Instagram story. If you're on my team, you know I've sent that to you already. I will make you an Instagram story and say, go post this because I know it's going to help you. And I will take the time to do that. Is that time out of my day? Absolutely. Does it multiply and help them? Yes, it does. And now they're showing up to Zooms like this because they're almost at emerald, because I just got that ball rolling. Okay, and this isn't like, look at me, I'm a superhero, you know, what I'm just saying, do that with your team, because it's made all the difference for me and for what's happening on this team. When I look at the people who I'm like, who's going to take this team ambassador? It's you going from ruby to emerald, and you going from distributor to ruby, and the emerald's going from emerald to double. I love them, but it's not going to be the triples that are promoting. And I'm not saying they're not a big part of this, but what I'm saying is that all the big promotions happened last month, and we still missed it because we were low on the volume. So what I mean by that is that I need all of you to do your absolute best to get to the highest rank that you want to go to. And that's where that volume is going to come from. So when Abby's looking at her diamond chart and she's like, okay, I don't know where this extra volume is going to come from. It's going to come from her really diving in deep with this 400 box who wants to go ruby and helping that person go ruby also. And that's 2,000 extra volume on her team that she wouldn't have had before. That just put Abby over 8,000 volume, and Abby just went diamond. And so that's how this is all going to work. So it's the fire that burns from the bottom, and that really has to be your focus. So that is my challenge to you. Get out those charts for your team. Have your own, but have a ton with you. Like, I have all of your charts on here in my good notes. I made them all yesterday. all of your charts are right here, because I know even though you may be a ruby on my ambassador chart, your diamond chart's right here. Because I want more for you than ruby, because you want more than ruby for yourself. And you're willing to show up, and that tells me a lot, and I'm ready to work with you. If you're ready to work, I will match you for your efforts. I don't care what you are on my chart, because it doesn't matter to me. And that's where I want you to get in that mindset right now with your team. That's how you're going to go further a lot faster in the right way. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you are somebody, this is the last thing, I promise, this is supposed to be short, but, and literally also I made notes and I haven't done any of the notes. So I guess Jesus is leading the Zoom. I don't really know. Hopefully it's what you need to hear, because it's not anything that I had planned. So, but I will say the last thing too is, rebuilding. Okay. Some of you are like, nobody on my team's working. Like literally I have nobody and I'm trying to go emerald. Okay. Number one, you can get there by yourself, but I don't want you to have to. So my best advice to you is get some new people in there as fast as you can. Get some new blood in that team. If you're a ruby and you're shooting for diamond and you have your almost all of your boxes filled, but a lot of them don't work, get some new people in there that are going to come and rise up underneath those legs that are dead, that are going to come bring those legs back to life. And it may not be the emerald that comes back to life, but that leg ends up being super excited. You work really closely with them and they go emerald on their own. And they could be your emerald for diamond. You just never know how fast things can change, but rebuilding is so normal. It's part of what we do. And don't think of it as rebuilding, think of it as reloading. If you had to see how many times I built my daggum ambassador chart, okay. Like even last month, there were spots that I was like, okay, we're going to take this out, we're going to bring this up. But it was because I was doing the fire burning from the bottom thing. Okay. I'm digging down deep so that whenever this leg quits, I'm like, oh, that's okay. We got this person. Let's bring them up, because they're excited and they're working. And those people that they joined last month ended up being a ruby and an emerald on our ambassador chart, and they ended up promoting. Okay. So I want you to look at that and think of rebuilding as something that we do. It's like Walmart. They get new employees. If you go to the Walmart that you went to when you were 5 years old, they're not going to have the same employees. Okay. It's part of life. They rebuild. I mean, some of them may still be there, but most of them will not be. Okay. So make sure that you're not getting too discouraged or like caught up in like, oh, this person quit, or I need to rebuild over here, or everything's falling apart. It's not falling apart. It's falling together. But it's your mindset that you get to choose which way you say it. You get to choose how you speak that over yourself and over your team. It's either falling apart or it's falling together. And that sounds really cheesy, but it changes the way you work. It changes the way you get up in the morning and want to hustle. It changes how you speak to people when you say everything's falling together. Addition by subtraction, baby. Get them out so we can bring the good on in. That's how you look at it. Because I've had a lot of people quit, but guess who's here now? All of you. And I would not trade that for anything. So rebuilding is normal. You can do this. Give it all that you've got. Because on the 30th of June, I want that vision that you gave yourself to happen. But it's not going to be by sitting here on a Zoom. It's going to be by getting out there, getting to work, making sure that you're making this a priority every single day. And that you are showing up for yourself and for your team. And when you do that, you're going to see the success. You're going to see the diamond. You're going to see the double diamond. But you have to decide right now. So get out there and do it. I believe in you so much. If I didn't believe in you, I would not have Zooms like this. I want you to know that I believe in you. I trust that this is all going to come together for you. I pray over you every single morning, and I pray the Lord's blessings over your business. And so I know that he is going to put his favor upon us and that he's going to bless the work that we're putting our hands to. So I hope you'll have an awesome night and enjoy it with your family or work or whatever you choose to do. But I hope you'll have a great night. Thanks for hopping on. Bye, guys.